All right, now let's get to this this No Way Out kind of thing. So let's see. You had a few good matches of the night, a couple swerves, couple things that I expected, and a couple things that weren't expected. I don't know if I'm gonna do the star system or not. If I'm just gonna talk about this pay per view, but I'm going to go with the star system tonight. Oh yeah, return video. I've gone for a bit, college, you know. Anyway, all right. So the first match we have the Elimination Chamber match. I was kind of shocked that they opened with this, but at the same time, considering what happened the rest of the night, I can understand it. But let's see. So Jeff Hardy and Edge started out this whole thing, and which was pretty good which was pretty good. They had a pretty good back and forth in my opinion. Then when Jeff Hardy eliminated Edge early, I kind of figured that something was going to happen later, but I didn't know what. But the fact is, what I was able to predict from the moment when Edge was eliminated by Jeff Hardy, I predicted that that would mean that Triple H was going to win. And the entire match, I was predicting that Triple H was going to win. Even like through from the first pin of the match, I predicted Triple H was going to win it. And it really shouldn't be that way. But when you have Triple H in a match like this and just picking it because one person gets eliminated, it kind of takes away from the rest of the match. But he's Triple H, so this kind of things is gonna happen as long as people cheer him and things like that. If fans that boo John Cena yet cheer Triple H are hypocrites, in my opinion. But anyway, Triple H wins. He becomes the champion for the 13th time. Yada yada yada. Whatever. He's probably. I'm not gonna spoil the rest of the evening yet. All right, Edge goes back. He's complaining to Vicky about the whole thing, and she says it's his fault, being snappish at him than she is before. Probably, it's probably going to turn out that she had an affair with the Big Show, and while he was gone, and that's going to be dealt with, which is probably why Edge will be staying on SmackDown. More on that later. But anyway, the first Elimination Chamber match, I'll give 4 stars. I would give it 4.25, but I was able to because there were some great spots in this match. Jeff Hardy onto the Big Show, everything like that. The whole chemistry thing, the reversal tombstone that Undertaker did on Triple H. One question about the match though: in the Elimination Chamber, there are no rules, so why does Triple H get a rope break? Oh, he's Triple H. That's why. Anyway, 4.25 stars for this match. And so moving on to the next match, which was Shane McMahon versus Randy Orton, if memory serves me correctly. This was a good match, even though Shane isn't what he used to be. He still was able to put together a few things. It was a pretty good. It was a pretty good match. It felt kind of short, but when you consider the opening match of the pay per view was almost about an hour long, you feel like the rest of the pay per view was going to be short too. Anyway, it's basically Randy Orton, Shane going back and forth, and Team Priceless coming in a very good spot where Randy Orton showed that he really does care for the members of Team Priceless, but he also showed that he wanted to do this on his own, taking out Shane without their help. The end of the match came out of nowhere. It was a spectacular RKO that Randy Orton hit when Shane was coming at him to punt him. Also, Randy Orton took a very hard monitor shot to the head that legitimately busted him open. I mean, you could see the skin flying off of his head when it hit him, and it was a pretty sick spot. It was really nice. And it shows that even though on TV WWE may be PG, when it comes to pay-per-view, there are no real limitations to what they can do. So if you wanna complain about them being PG, which isn't that big a deal in my opinion, then just order the pay-per-views and you'll get all the blood, guts, and violence you want. Okay. That said, the next part of the night was what was the next match? Was the HBK versus Chris Jarrett? No, it was HBK versus JBL. I think everybody felt that HBK was going to win this match, but pretty much HBK was taking a beating for the whole match, and then in the last moments he came back when JBL started messing with his wife. He came back, he won. He came back, switching music, set up. He won, took 2 clotheslines from Hells, and he did a pretty interesting. It was a pretty good match, although it was just a little cheesy in my opinion how he stayed on the outside and on the count out until the 9, and then he just jumped up and jumped back in the ring right before 10 would have happened. He could have at least milked it, a little bit at 7, 8, 9 instead of just waiting till 9 and just jumping up and things like that. So I didn't give the last matchup. I'll give Shane McMahon versus Randy Orton a 3.5 stars out of 5 because it was a good little match. It was a good little filler match and things like that. But and I'll give the HBK versus JBL match a 3.5 as well. those two can put together a better match like that, and JB and HBK is to the point where he shouldn't take a beating from JBL 99% of the match and then come back and just win out of nowhere because his wife snaps him. So, and they also had the ECW match. The ECW between Swagger and Finlay, which Swagger won. Quick little match, 3 stars out of 5. Hornswoggle got knocked down, so I'll make it a 3.5 stars out of 5. I know it's mean, but it's true. The fans were chanting, "We want Christian" from the beginning, which they'll probably get at the next pay-per-view, or around WrestleMania. They'll get it at the next pay-per-view, probably Swagger versus Christian. So, but the thing is that between the 2 Elimination Chamber matches, most of the matches of this pay-per-view were short. And the Elimination Chamber, I don't know if it went a little long or something, but it lasted about an hour. So you basically have 2 hours left in the pay-per-view, so all the rest of the matches were kind of squished together and didn't really carry on as long as you would have expected them to. So, but considering where the storyline went, it makes sense when it goes on later. So now I'm going to get to the last part there. Then the last Elimination Chamber, Chris Jericho cut this really nice promo about Ric Flair and things like that. Also, Randy Orton cut a very nice promo before his match with Shane McMahon. But also, what happened in this match was that people were coming out for the Elimination Chamber, and Kofi Kingston came out. Edge, to the shock of everyone, came out and attacked Kofi Kingston and destroyed him. Yeah, why did he attack Kofi and not Mike Knox? Anyway, Kofi Kingston is out from the beginning, and Edge throws himself in the Elimination Chamber. At this point, I'm thinking that they're doing a kind of swerve like they did when CM Punk wasn't able to win the title, and they threw Jericho in there, and somehow he came from behind to win it all, because he's the last one out there. I felt like they were going to do that. I said, it depended on what happened. And I was on the forums and everything like that. People were talking about how Super Cena was going to win and things like that. And, you know, in the first match of the night, Edge dropped the pin to Jeff Hardy in about 2 minutes within the Elimination Chamber match. So Edge was gone from then. And people were joking when they were saying that John Cena probably should do the same thing. And a lot of people were joking because they felt Cena was going to be Superman and win the match. And I really hope that this match shut a lot of Cena haters up that tried to say that, oh, he always tries to win, he always has to look unbeatable. When Cena was in the match, he was the last person in the match. He was eliminated in about 3 minutes from 3 finishers as soon as he got into the match. So I hope that this will silence people that try to hate on John Cena saying he's unbeatable. There's only one unbeatable, untouchable person in the WWE that deserves your moniker and that hate, and his name is Triple H. But I guess you're not talking about him because you want to make it into the business one day. And since he's married to the boss's daughter, you feel like you got to kiss his rump to get in. Good for you. I hope you succeed. But anyway, I need to address this. And Edge did great spots in the match, but the superstar of the night in this match has to be Rey Mysterio. He pulled off so many spots, so many great spots, and he took some sick bumps in this match. This match I would have to give a 4-star. This is a 4-star match, or 4.5 star match, just because of the drama that was put behind it. And I would have given it a little bit higher, but the thing is, the match was slow in some points, and other points it just felt like it was dragging on until either Edge or John Cena got into the match, because that's what it was building beyond. But you got to give credit to someone like Mike Knox, and you got to give credit to Kane, you got to give credit to Rey Mysterio for carrying that match up until that point, because you know everyone's basically waiting for either Edge or Cena to come in after that point. But the fact that those 3 were able to carry that match until that point says a lot about those superstars and where they should really end up. Anyway, 4.5 stars for that Elimination Chamber match, which Edge won, by the way. Edge won. He beat Rey Mysterio. So that basically leaves Raw without a champion. So now you have Triple H, who's the champion at SmackDown, and Edge was the champion of SmackDown. So you know what I think's going to happen? I think Super Triple H is going to go over to Raw and rid us all of the Randy Orton era or whatever it is. Whoop-de-doo. Like I want to see Triple H over on Raw again. Raw's been better without him. You can admit that. And at least SmackDown won't have him, but still, Triple H is probably going to go to Raw and be the savior to go against Legacy, or Reform DX to go against Legacy. You know, when it becomes predictable like this, you know, it really shouldn't be this kind of predictable when you predict what's going to go on the next night. That said, I am excited to see Raw, and I am excited to see where all of this goes. And I hope I'm not right on some things, but other things are good. Overall, this is one of the best pay-per-views that WWE's put together in a night. And the fact that they shut a lot of the internet fans up with what they thought was going to happen, it didn't happen. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. I'm Majesty, and good night.